them come. This is their fate.
Let's start with Apex then. I know there's a lot that happened, a lot that's been changed. The game is very different right now. I'm not gonna hold you. It's a very different game, in my opinion. Feels a lot different. Um, so yeah, I guess I don't want to open it, but one of the biggest things for me that kind of caused me to kind of take a back was the ring. The ring itself has gotten shorter. You can't be looting in the side areas anymore like that, and it's stronger. So one of two things is happening. One, it feels as if you don't have enough time to loot and get to another engagement, or two, it's you just have to be smarter about where you land. I think it's the latter. I think you just have to be smarter about where you land. I don't think it's that punishing, but people literally have died to the ring more often. My teammates, like I'm literally telling them, "Hey, let's go, let's go, let's go," and just pointing, just hitting the marker to say, "Let's go this way, let's go this way." They're still looting, and they end up dying. I'm not going back for you, bro. Like I'm not finna try to fight the ring because you didn't listen to me when I said we have to leave now because we're on storm point and it takes 10 minutes of running this way just to get out the ring. And if you don't have like a vehicle or whatever, it's going to be hard for me to keep you alive. So I have really literally lost games due to dying to the ring, like two or three times. It's not been like egregious, but it's like a lesson learned. Like, okay, I know not to be playing around in the ring anymore. It's not like it used to be where you can survive. We were always very ring conscious when we played, but that's one of the big things that I stood out to me as I was playing it. I was like, this kind of changes a lot about the game because you just have to be more strategic on where you go, but it also speeds up games. Like literally, none of my games lasted more than 15 minutes, which is great, especially when you're on storm point. But yeah, that was one of the bigger ones for me. What did y'all see, or play that y'all felt like was changed a lot?
Man,
Floor is
I'm
yours.
not.
Floor is all yours.
I ain't gonna lie. I was kind of mad they took away the barrel stabilizer off the SMGs, man.
You don't like the laser sight?
Man, I always aimed down the sight, so I mean, I probably ain't gave it that much of a chance. But I just wanted I like stabilization, man. I want my gun to shoot straight, but I don't know.
I agree. Agreed. That's agreeable. I agree with that. I like the fact that laser sights are very good. I've always been one of those duck and move type of players. That I know Jalen, you don't really like him. You got disdain for him a little bit, but that's the way of the game at this point, where you just duck and move, keep ducking and jumping down and up and down, up and down. Left, right, left, right. It was kind of the way of the game at this point. But it's just easier to hit people, especially with the prowler. That's one I would recommend if you kind of are like, I don't really like SMGs no more. I mean, you can always pick up the flatline or the new and improved vault. But any of those, like the vault, still shoots straight without, regardless of what it don't take a laser sight because it's. I don't believe it take a laser sight. No, it doesn't. The laser sight for the so that might be your go to now. Just playing with the um, actual Volt. But that thing shoots straight and it's crazy and it's on the floor now again. So that might be your go-to. But that's a suggestion. What's some of the things you saw, Josh?
So I haven't seen all the weapon changes, but I was playing with what's her name, Vantage,
Vantage,
a
yeah,
bit. Yeah, and I was surprised how so I like her kit so far, but I haven't gotten used to, I guess, how I to fully understand the playstyle. So like
yeah,
the Echo, the Bat, you can point them in any direction up to like 50 meters away. And I was trying to figure out like what's the limits to that. So every time, I'll put them up in the air, jump down, and technically it seems like you can get him a little further than 50 meters because he flies slowly, so you can like jump towards him while he's following you and get a little bit of extra distance.
Hmm.
It seems like. But yeah, I guess my thing with her is she has a really good jump. Like it's really quick.
Yeah.
It goes very far. Pretty much you can go in any direction that you want. But Apex doesn't have any like real aerial combat, shooting in the air. So
Yeah.
like, because they don't want you like jumping off a cliff and shooting while you're jumping, or it makes it very difficult. Like your ADS and bullet
You actually
trajectory and
spread.
stuff
Yeah.
change.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I have to get used to it. She's really good for repositioning. I guess I kind of wish maybe she had some sort of passive kind of like Horizon where jumping and shooting at the same time is a little more advantageous. But so far, she's really good at repositioning. The sniping stuff, I guess I don't actually fully understand it because I know that they mentioned something about bullet trajectory that you can see,
Yeah.
but so far, I haven't been able to figure out what is the actual indicator for the bullet trajectory. Like I know it
Yeah.
says like you aim at them, it shows their name, their how much health they got, how far they are. But I don't know, I haven't seen anything else.
Yeah, it's a little red dot right in the middle of your screen. Her Sentinel, like her actual device, it doesn't have bullet drop off, so it's always gonna be in the middle. But if you pick up like a longbow or a Sentinel, you're gonna
Okay.
actually see where it tells you, hey, they're this meters this amount of meters away, so that dot's gonna move to it, and this is where your shot's gonna land. So
Hmm.
if you want to hit them in the head, you put that dot on their body. So that is essentially what that passive is that she has the ability to not only tell how many people are on the team, what type of shields they have, but not what type of people, how many are in the party, what shields they have, and once she shoots someone, she weakens them, and I think you get like a 15% buff for the team. But the next time she shoots someone, so it starts with 50, then it goes to 100. So then 150 is basically someone with light shields on the ground. She obviously has to take some time to get her shots together, but um, I really like her sniper. I think it's really cool. You don't have to upgrade it. Like she already has the scope on it, so that she don't have to worry about going around picking up stuff and trying to figure out, okay, I need to get this certain 3 times, or to kind of take advantage of all of her kit. She's just always gonna have it on her. So just prioritizing ultimate accelerants and then just running an SMG and a um, assault rifle would probably be my kit for her. Um, and it's just taking advantage of her repositioning skill. She's really good at repositioning. So yeah, I agree with a lot of that stuff. I'm just gonna play devil advocate so we can argue. Um, what is a current what is something that they needed that you wish they kind of added? I know for me, and I'm just trying to create a conversation, is like some of the stuff that you guys wish they would have added in season 14. Or I know as Jalen's kind of stated, there's some things that he added that kind of wish they didn't take away or put into the game, or maybe something that you kind of wish was currently in the game now in this state, or something they went overboard with. Do you guys feel like Vantage went overboard? Do you think that the buff for any of the other characters, maybe Mad Maggie, or um, I know Newcastle got a really big buff. Do you think those buffs went overboard? Just trying to play devil's advocate. I know my opinion. I just want to hear what y'all guys think about any of the changes on the characters.
Uh, I ain't gonna lie. There's somebody coming from that play Lifeline. I ain't like the fact that they took away ability from a character and just gave it to another character. I mean, obviously they did a little bit more. He can move with a shield, and he can. I think he can move the person around and stuff too. But and he move a little faster. But I just feel like they just recycled an ability and improved it for like a later character or whatever. So I feel like that is a little lazy, but I mean it fits Newcastle more than it. Well, uh, never mind. I ain't gonna say that. But yeah, I just like I said, they took away something and put it on somebody else and called it new, and it just wasn't. It wasn't well received by me. So
You feeling a little
Yeah.
taken advantage of. Okay, okay, go ahead. Yeah, I understand. What about you, Josh?
Yeah, I agree with like the other buffs and things like that. I don't actually mind, but when they actually change the character kits, I can say at this point I don't like it. So their earlier changes with Lifeline and people, not everybody had the same number of like skills and more people have passives and stuff like that. But then they rebalance it so everybody's on a more even playing field. But since then they just keep subtracting abilities from Lifeline, and I think it's kind of it really sucks at that point because I think that she's obviously was the best healer uh, uh, in the game, and instead of adding healers that are as good, they just keep taking away from her to like bring up the others to fit. Newcastle's already very good, but like you didn't have to like really remove anything from Lifeline. But they're trying to change, I guess, the flow of the game. But just from my experience of games like Overwatch, whenever they start doing stuff like that, it's either going to be good or it's just going to be bad. And right now, it might be too early to tell, but I feel like it's going to feel like a negative for Lifeline. Like one of the last changes she had when they removed her shield. Like at first, it seemed like a really bad thing, but it also gave you a benefit of now you can res and move around and you can res more than one person and stuff. So it was also an additional benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's it's
I
it's
mean,
it's hard to say. I feel like Newcastle has a different style of play. He's more defensive. Lifeline is meant to be a healer, but at the same time, they don't incorporate much to make her beneficial. Like Newcastle, his kit on his own seems to dominate now because of the ability to, pounce on a downed enemy, put up a big freaking wall, and then you can take that enemy and move him out of danger and turn at the speed and radius that is unbelievable, where people have to really fight to even kill you and the guy you're picking up. Imagine having, and then you got the knockdown shield because that is meant for him now. They essentially gave him the special knockdown shield to be able to revive people faster, but at the same time, Lifeline can still use it. But it's more beneficial for Newcastle because not only does he block things, he pull you away, he gets you to safety, and he allows you to like reposition you. He can reposition you to a better spot. Like if you go down in a bad spot, he can reposition you to a better spot, and he can also put up walls to make it a lot more safer for you to get to stand up. Where Lifeline is just wherever you are, that's where you are. You get up, you get up. If you don't, you don't, and that's the end of it. So I get what you guys are saying. Newcastle overall is probably just a better character now when it comes to reviving. He's not a better character to me when it comes to heals, to survival. He's better at survival, but she just has, I don't know. She has a very bad. She's in a very bad spot now to compare to the others that are defensive or have the ability to revive, because he's a defensive revive character. She's a revive slash
she don't got
supply.
nothing in her kit. Like
Yeah.
they took everything out of her kit basically. Like she can pick up multiple people. That's cool, but I mean, like in practicality, she still slow down when you pick up people. It's still like all this like end lag on whatever. Whenever you do that, she have a bunch of end lag and she slows down where you can't do nothing after you pick somebody up. It'd be different if they just added something to her kit to, you know what I'm saying, increase the viability. I mean, She don't got no mobility. If you out in the open or something like that, I mean, you ain't got no offensive techniques or mobility or anything like that that could maybe push the enemy away or something. Like, there's not
Mm-hmm.
really any of that. So, like, you ain't even got like a grenade or something like that. I mean, literally the only thing in the Lifeline is she got her med kit or she got a little drone or whatever. She can pick up more than two. She can pick up more than one person at a time. I mean, if you playing duos, that's completely irrelevant. Um, and then what else did they didn't they do something with the med kits with her like she could hold more or they more effective when she use them? What they do? They
Well,
do
she
something like
used
that
to
or I'm
have
thinking of a
that
different game.
before older, but not no more. She's more so. You talking about the update to the backpack where you now can hold more med kits and more Phoenix kits? But
No,
that's
it wasn't that. It was
like if you're talking about when
I
she
might
was
be thinking
able
of a
to
different game when it was able to get
revive, and if you're talking about using her shield cells and her med kits faster and more efficiently, that was her at the beginning of the season, at the like season 0. But that's not her anymore. So they
okay,
took that
maybe
away.
maybe that's what that was.
Yeah.
So they don't got small stature no more. What they do? It's harder to hit, right? They don't got that no
Yeah,
more,
they
right?
don't have that no more either. No.
They don't. They didn't they have something where she took more damage too, though. Like the small people take more damage, or am I thinking of
Not more
um?
damage. They were harder to hit.
Might be thinking of Gibraltar and
Yeah,
and
Gibraltar and
Caustic. They took more damage.
they took a little bit more damage. That was it. But the smaller people, they didn't
Yeah,
have like a deep. They didn't have a debuff on their health. They just had like ability to be smaller. They were smaller because they were like small
skinny.
characters. I forget the
Yeah,
exact term of was, but yeah.
yeah. So I mean, like if you just taking all that, like comparing abilities and all that type of stuff, Lifeline don't really have that much benefit to the team. I mean, her healing and stuff is good. Like they increase the speed of her healing, like that's straight. And I mean, and I'm not saying this from a standpoint where I'm like mad that they nerf Lifeline and stuff. Like I play with a different character. I just don't. Lifeline was always cool with me and stuff because I don't like carrying med kits and stuff like that. But it's just when you compare it to other characters and seeing what everybody do and how they can affect the type of the way the game is played and stuff like that, it adds less viability to Lifeline. I mean, she's not really doing anything. Like she's a support character, but she got to put her drone next to people. It'd be different if she could place her drone next to people, like relocate it or move it or do something like that. But she literally got to run up. Remember, she ain't got no mobility and stuff. Put that mug next to you, and then go do whatever she got to do, and then she can't get across. Like it's just not a lot of things to her kit. Like she's really like, hey, I'm gonna shoot you, and that's really all I can do to you. I can't finesse. I can't run no circles around you. I can't. There's not anything that I could do. Like I ain't even got a shield to heal my people and stuff. I could put people as like a diversion or something like that. But I mean, you got people doing what she can do best, better than her at this point. So it's just a
Yeah.
little different. So
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. Like, there's a lot of opinions running around about how Vantage is overpowered. I don't agree with that. They're talking about Newcastle just getting too much love. Even Mirage was able now. He's like a direct counter for Seer. He's still getting upgrades, and Lifelines is just at the tail end of this. She's basically the black sheep of the group, like for real, for real. She don't really got much. Bangalore always had a good kit, and they're not gonna change her regardless of what they do. So she's always been valuable in a lot of different situations. So they're not gonna do nothing. But really, the one that I feel like has been impacted the most to the point where they're not used often is Lifeline, and self revive. The ability to revive away from a character is viable, especially when you can reposition and you can guard the res. But that's also what Newcastle can do, and he can do it more effectively. And then once he's back up, both of you are up. He can even impact the game flow even more because he has to do is grab you, reposition, put you into a space where they can't get to you. And it's kind of like, yeah, this guy is pretty good, and he has the ability to even throw his shield out before he even starts to do his thing. So it's just a lot that he can, change the flow of the match easily. So
Can he reposition too? Like he can jump and place his shield and stuff like that.
yeah,
So he
he
got
can
some
jump on
mobility.
top of a building with his shield and put it on top of that, and like really take charge of a space. So if he's like on the ground somewhere and he wants to get on top of a building, he has a mobility move and within his shield. Obviously, his shield wall he has to use his ultimate, but he can do that. He can get off the ground and move up there without
To,
having to,
to some capacity, he got mobility versus Lifeline. You have to go run all the way over there,
mm-hmm.
hit them, revive them. Most people not when they get down and stuff like that. Apex, you can down people far away, but how much health people got in that game? Realistically, most people get down fairly close, where they can close in on you pretty easily. Lifeline don't got mobility, so she not gonna close in at a faster rate than the opponent. And then you still gotta go hit the revive, and you got the end lag. I literally was playing today and I was trying to pick somebody up and got killed when I was doing the end lag at a revive. Like, and then you have to get away from it. So it's not like you can position like, all right,
Wait,
I'm gonna tap you real quick and move around and go reposition. It's not a whole lot of time to really practically go do that and guard the revive.
yeah. Well, I wonder
Especially like
if
in the duos. Like what you definitely not doing that in no duos. Like that's cooked.
it'd be a viable change to have her have the ability to um, continuously heal someone as they are getting revived, so that even if you're trying to thirst them and shoot them, they have protection based off of her medical device, not only reviving but also pumping in health, so that way when they get up, they could potentially still have a fighting chance to either get a shot off or something before they just fall to the ground. So it's like maybe she resets their health to 100% or whatever. Not their shields, but their health. And that they have a invulnerability as they're being revived by Lifeline alone. Because I don't know how drastic that'll change the meta like at all, because really people thirst you because they want to confirm that kill. They want to have to deal with you, but at the same time, you're still out in the opens, and you have to now figure out whether or not you need to reload. It's not going to reload your weapons for you. You either got to turn your weapons, change something else, but it gives you that little bit of space to try to maybe potentially make an escape, or stop people from just standing over you and shooting you down right before you can even get up. That might be a change that could cause her to be a little bit more viable. You not have lot less protection, or providing protection for them, because they're gonna be straight at least for this period of time. While you try to reposition and get a better angle to try to keep them down, because you're still gonna have to get to that person again if they knock them. Versus, Newcastle, once he gets to you, he has the ability to protect himself and reposition you. So, I'm just thinking out loud, but that might be something that's helpful, like small, but helpful at the same time. But
Man, point is they probably had Newcastle in plan. They was like, hey man, we need to take Lifeline shield away because we might get at somebody else, bro. So like, not
yeah,
just playing, but realistic. I'm not saying that I ain't gonna be like a skeptic or anything or pessimistic to say that's what it is. I just honestly feel like these developers, they put time in creating these characters, whether they're good or bad and stuff like that. And when these characters come out and you still got cats playing with people like Lifeline or Bangalore, you're like, hey man, like I play up my new character, dog. Like what y'all want us to do? Like, all right, bet we gonna do this. Like, play with this dude. Like, we made him. Play with him, please.
please, please,
So
please,
one
yeah.
one piece. Like, please
If
be excited. Play with
if
our
she
character,
had an
bro.
heirloom they'd probably buff her if she had an heirloom to sell, but they already sold it. So
That's it, bro.
you saw what they did to Valk, right? You see what happened to the last security guard. Like, for real, they threw her throttle, like everything. Like, they took her consumption down. Like, she consumes more fuel. Her takeoff is trash, and they
Is it the
also,
speed at which it go up or the time it take
yes,
to
the
take off?
speed it takes to go off and take off. So like when she's like
Uh,
readying up to like push away, the velocity of it is shorter, so she can't go as far as she used to be able to reposition, and it's
are
slower
her flight
to
time is slow and fly?
like
Like when
where
she's
she
flying?
actually
I know they
flying.
took away her peak.
Yeah, her peak, where she peaks at to like say for instance that's the top of the jump tower is shorter, so she can't
Yeah.
like make it over certain mountains anymore like she used to. Um, and then they also uh, they also shrunk her missile launch after they sold that the heirloom though. But they did all of that this with the update, so she's not as deadly as she used to be. And she also has her air time is a little bit slower, so she doesn't have like as much velocity as she used to when she was just using her regular jetpack. So she takes more fuel, slower to take off on her ultimate, and her tactical is has been nerfed too. So yeah,
She's getting too much love, man.
she
People,
was getting too
she was a
much
good
love,
character.
bro.
I mean,
Yeah,
she was a viable character on the team, bro. Like you couldn't deny that. So
yeah. Anything from you, Josh, that you felt maybe um I guess unpopular opinion or anything that you wanted to talk about when it comes to this Apex update?
No, I mean I think my opinion on this game is always unpopular. Before I even started playing, I was like, all right, what's new that I got to look out for? And it's like a new character and like some changes on the map. I feel like the game. I want to see like more limited time modes. I'm kind of tired. Like I looked at the battle pass, and I think the battle pass is like not good. I think
It's not.
a lot of the items just are not appealing to me, but I'm also tired of just like wraith reskins and recolors. If you don't put another wraith one in there and
Yeah.
make it look unique, you know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Um, so I haven't bought the battle pass probably in a couple seasons. Um, and I'm probably not gonna get this one, even though it's a triple take gun at the end. That looks nice, but I actually have a lot of triple take skins that I don't already use, so I don't know.
Hmm.
I wish they would do more at the beginning of new seasons because they're really in a pattern that kind of old to me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can agree with the battle pass being awful. I can agree with them wanting more for them. Um, I think they do enough when it comes to making the game feel fresh, especially if you're someone that plays with all characters. Um, I feel like I have enough, not content, but new stuff to chew on that makes me want to try more than just one. Like I've been playing with Fusey because I just find him a little bit more enjoyable to play against teams that are sitting back right now and not really pushing. I've been playing with him, and then if I feel like I'm not getting anywhere and I want to work on my snipe game, I'm playing with Vantage or I'm going to play with Loba because I feel like she can just kit me out with a good sniper game and I could just play that game too. So it's not that I'm necessarily finding enjoyment on what they're putting in as in like modes wise. I'm finding enjoyment because I just like to explore the game to find some of the fun things to do and like I create my own fun kind of way. But it's nowhere near as which we can also talk about because I didn't ever talk about going back to Fortnite, but it's nowhere near as Fortnite is like actually has things in the game to entertain you. Like this game doesn't do that. It's like find your own entertainment kind of deal, which I don't like. But at the same time, I wanted to play a game that care about what they put in and rebalancing, which that's what they care about. I just wish that they cared about the other stuff a lot too, because they still want to sell you stuff. They still want you to spend your time here. So one of the bigger things that I liked about this season is that they introduced the ability to not only you don't have to play arenas, you don't if you don't want to, but you can like it's like the 10 kills with Bangalore in BR or 10 kills with Bangalore in or whoever in arenas. So they just provided the opportunity for me not to engage in arenas at all. which it kind of tell gives me underlines that hey, they probably gonna end up giving up on this mode if not sooner, sometime later, where it's just not there anymore. Maybe they introduce something a little bit better. Maybe they revamp it. Arenas in itself right now is fine. I'm not saying that it's a bad mode, but it's not something that will keep me coming back. Like we're going to talk about Splatoon too. I'm giving up all the topics, but anyway, Splatoon did something where they like added like a freaking card game for Turf War, and then they added like they added the salmon run, where you kind of like have the 4v, four on the co-op, the whole horde mode, and then they also have the regular modes, and then they're adding stuff to make the game fun, but obviously these are a little bit different. But at the same time, I can compare them because they're shooters in their own rights, and they want to entertain you and keep you coming back. But that's not what Apex does, which kind of sucks because this is probably the biggest game where it would transition well into some story content, into some good, deathmatch modes, that regular classic modes. It will transfer well with these characters, in my opinion, than other games could possibly do. But I don't know if they don't have a resource or they don't care because they selling this product and they're selling it well right now. So, um, yeah, we'll see. Everybody thought, everybody said they wasn't gonna play no Apex August. Nah. Emma had the highest concurrent players on Steam though. I was like, God, no, I don't think they gonna ever change. They don't got to. What you mean? They gonna keep going up. So we got a lot of people out there saying a lot of stuff, man. But they keep coming back. But yeah, I'm in total agreement that this game isn't meant for people looking to just in isn't meant for people or it can be, but it's not filling that void right now where people just want to come in, have some fun, and get off. It's more about understanding the meta and understanding what's happening, what's changed, and how to engage the game. And you don't want to get to that elitist point too much because once you're there, what can you expand? How can you expand? And how can you truly bring in players and keep people happy with the more casual crowd? So they got a lot to figure out. That's very much so true. Any lasting thoughts about this? All these changes, Mad Maggie running around bursting Gibraltar bubbles. There's some crazy stuff happening in this game. Snipers, the wingman being a sniper now, and you only getting so much ammo. Spitfire being a freaking light ammo weapon. Some crazy stuff. Any lasting thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the ammo economy. Like when I remember that the Spitfire was light ammo, I was like, dang, this is really a light ammo gun. I got a bunch of light ammo. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just a lot to get used to. They do change up the game, like the gameplay and mechanics behind it pretty often. And I don't think it's ever been in a bad place. There are gonna be some seasons that people like more than others.
hmm
But overall, the game I think is still being Apex. Like they're doing their own thing. They're trying
yeah,
to continuously polish it and improve on it, which is good. They don't need to always change like other games. But it's just interesting, and we'll see how it goes. Because even though I'm not personally looking forward to it, I know there's a lot of talk around Call of Duty this year and what that will mean for like online shooters and like Warzone and stuff like that. So as other shooters evolve and like add different modes or like different things, because like when was the last time we was on Warzone? They have like 6 different modes that you can play on Warzone, and it's just
yeah,
interesting that Apex is just consistent and this is what we do and we're not going to do anything different. But
Well,
you can't
yeah,
really complain about it too much because it's not bad. Like you said, it's the
yeah,
most
you just
popular
have to
shooter
find.
out right now. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to find other experiences elsewhere, and it's nice that they leave room for others, because that was one of my things with Fortnite, and we could talk about Call of Duty as well. And at some point, we're gonna have a real conversation around whether or not Activision was a good buy. We got to have a real conversation around whether or not that money that they spending right now was actually worth it, because it doesn't seem like it at all at this point, like at all. Like they literally got bamboozled. To so no pun intended. But anyway.